Hey
It's
JP,
good.
I want to ask a quick question. Sorry to cut you off, Pernick.
Yeah, yeah.
JP, is a house a good investment?
Ooh, that's a good
Obviously,
question.
I don't own a house. John owns a house. Michael owns a house. You uh, own a house currently. You may be homeless soon.
Multiple houses.
Is a house is a house a good investment?
Well, okay, let me give you an example. So let's say we paid 250 for this house, and then we put 50,000 in remodel the kitchen, and then we put 25 into fixing the pool, and then we put 10,000 pool deck, and then we rebuilt the roof 2 times. So that's $30,000. And then we repainted it several times inside. Now that's another $15,000, $20,000. So if you add it all up, it's about a break even. And then on top of that, you get to pay, let's say you get to pay $6,000 a year in real estate taxes and $3,000 a year in insurance. So that's between $9,000 and $10,000 a year in reoccurring expense. So it's kind of a funny wash. Now, the one good thing is when you sell, the government gives you the first $500,000 of profit on your house, tax free.
If you roll it into another house, right? No?
First, the first $500,000 tax free.
But isn't there an additional rule that if you roll it into another house, like you don't have to worry about capital gains?
That's rental property, yes. A 1035 exchange rental property. You can skip the capital gain if you're rolling a rental property into another rental property. But the first personal residence gets 500,000 of long-term gain. Actually, the first $1,000 of profits tax forgiven, tax free. So that kind of takes up some of the slack on all the expenses of owning a house. Mm-hmm. Say, but house is not a good purchase for a young person unless they're anchored to that location for minimum 5 years. So if there's a chance that your career is going to take you away from a location in less than 5 years, you shouldn't own a house.
Is that due to the amortization schedule?
And it's due to the variability in the pricing of real estate and the chance that you could lose $100,000 in 3 years when you go to sell. Or 4 years.
I think a lot of people are going to be losing their assets. At some point, I just believe that you get a backlog of 10 million people who are not paying their mortgage. And let's say half those people, generously saying that half of them are just not paying because they don't have to, right? They're taking advantage of the situation. Let's just say, I don't think it's half, but let's just say for the sake of this conversation, even if half of them default, there's going to be a flood of the market of homes that people are being kicked out of because they can no longer afford them. And I think that that's going to cause a change in the market, regardless of where you are.
Well, I think that's going to affect mostly the entry-level houses, the first-time buyer houses, the under the 2,000 square foot homes, and all of those are being snatched up by corporations that are building this into portfolios of unit investment trusts, of REITs, of residential houses, in which they buy them cheap, they fix them up a little bit, and they put tenants in them and rent them, and then they package it up and sell it, and it becomes an income property REIT, real estate investment trust, trades on the New York Exchange.
Or do you feel that REITs are decent investments as far as the ones that trade?
Not especially now. Interest rates are quite low. So the return on investment is based on the overpricing of the underlying assets. Not the greatest.
So,
purchased. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, finish your thought. I was gonna take it in.
My thought was I'd purchased Washington Prime Group some time ago on the exchange, and I it went up significantly. I purchased it for like, I don't know, $3. Oh, there was a reverse split, and then they declared bankruptcy. Um, and I pulled out like right before I lost any money. I actually sold a few off so I didn't lose too much money. But I thought, I'm going to stay away from these REITs. My feeling was a lot of the commercial real estate has gone bye bye due to COVID. And I thought people are going to start re inhabiting these places. Amazon's going to buy these buildings and store their boxes there or whatever. So my thought was, okay, maybe I'll throw some money at those things in hopes that the real estate goes back up for especially like commercial and everything. But I haven't seen that really. There was another one, Pennsylvania something,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania Real Estate Investment Trust, which I purchased some of that when it was like dirt cheap. But
Was
it,
that B&O
well,
Railroad as well?
yeah, it was Baltic Avenue.